For a community to thrive, its residents need good jobs and homes.
Easy ways to get around.
Ready access to healthy food, exercise, and healthcare.
And the opportunity and tools to realize their goals.
While these things are familiar to many in Greater Cincinnati, many others are still missing out.
A young man with low income who can't afford a car that would allow him to get a well-paying job.
A mother who can't find fresh fruits and vegetables in her neighborhood.
A budding entrepreneur who doesn't know how to make her homegrown idea a reality.
Nonprofit organizations are working to help people like these.
But they don't always have the resources to accomplish their mission.
That's where Social Venture Partners can help.
Social Venture Partners is Greater Cincinnati's home for engaged philanthropists.
We are passionate about working together and giving back.
We are the only local funder whose partners go beyond giving.
We pair grant making with hands-on, in-depth coaching, training, and guidance for nonprofits that help people reach their full potential.
We believe that working directly with our investees provides more value than giving money alone.
That by sharing professional expertise, our partners can make Greater Cincinnati a better place.
The innovative solutions to community challenges can yield great results.
That all people, no matter their background or circumstances, should be able to reach their full potential.
I'm Doug Bolton. I'm a former publisher. I'm CEO of Cincinnati Cares, helping the entire nonprofit community, and I'm proud to be a social venture partner.
I'm Shannon. I'm a local mom, realtor, and entrepreneur, and I am a social venture partner.
I'm Catherine Schwartfeger, and I work in consumer insights at Procter & Gamble, and I'm a social venture partner.
I'm Carrie. I'm in finance, and I'm a social venture partner.
I'm Jeff Williams. I work in nonprofit communications, and I am a social venture partner.
I'm Christopher Chen. I am a father, a husband, a son of immigrants, a technology innovator at Google, and I am a social venture partner.
Our purpose is simple: to enable the nonprofits we work with to make the Cincinnati region a stronger and more vibrant community.
Find out more at www.svpcincinnati.org.
Hello and welcome. I'm Chris Schroet. My day job is head of mortgage for Fifth Third Bank. My evening job is co-chair of Fast Pitch 2020, and I welcome you to our event. I'm just happy I don't have one of these to contend with today, so I'm going to go ahead and start it off. So I'd like to welcome you to our first virtual event. We've done 7 of these in the past, and they've all gone really well, but obviously COVID happened, so we wanted to try something new and different. You just heard from Social Ventures about what we do and how we work in the community. I wanted to talk to you about SVP Fast Pitch, the event that you're tuning in for today. It's a technique that we've borrowed from venture capitalists and startup communities to help our nonprofits in the Cincinnati area strengthen themselves and be able to send and share their message of hope to build our community even stronger. We're going to showcase a bunch of great nonprofits tonight. We started with over 50 applicants over a year ago. We put that number down to 28, and then from there we selected 12 finalists that you'll see this evening. On normal terms, they would have spent about 12 to 16 weeks preparing for this event. Obviously, with COVID hitting in March, they've had a much longer time to perfect and work on their presentation. So I'm excited about bringing them to you today. The event, obviously, regardless if it's virtual or a large event live, requires a lot of great sponsors. And I'm so proud, as you can see on this slide, of all the wonderfully diverse sponsors that help bring this program together. So I want to thank each and every one of those personally. Now, why does this matter? Obviously, the pitchers are here to learn and build skills, but what also matters in this hashtag 3 Minutes That Matters is the fact that we're going to award well over $80,000 in grants and in-kind donations. So there's a lot at stake for all of these participants. Now, obviously, with $80,000 in awards, we've got a couple very significant awards that we will focus on this evening. Our grand prize, brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, will be $15,000. And our second and third prize, $10,000 and $5,000 respectively, will be brought to you by Interact for Health. We're excited about bringing these great awards to you and to all these nonprofits. Now, these awards are going to be juried awards. Don't worry, there'll be time for you to participate in a minute, but let me tell you about our judges. We have 5 great judges that represent 5 incredible organizations who are Fast Pitch sponsors. First, I'd like to introduce you to Kala Gibson. He's an Executive Vice President at Fifth Third Bank and a great leader who drives our business banking organization. Next, we have Julian Collins, who leads community outreach for Interact for Health. We also have Aloysius Barreras, who is a senior software engineer at Ethos and represents Fuel Cincinnati. Then we have Carrie Johnson, who is the Social Venture Partners Cincinnati Board Chair and an Assistant Vice President at Great American Insurance Group. And last but not least, we have Doug Bolton, who is the CEO of Cincinnati Cares and an SVP partner. Welcome to all 5 judges, and we thank them for helping us to select the Fast Pitch 2020 winners. Now for the rules. The judging criteria is very simple. First, we want a clear message. Do we really understand what the nonprofit does? Second, is their story compelling? Have they really convinced us that what they do really matters to our community? Third, is community impact? Is the nonprofit really making a difference, and can we quantify their effect on those in our communities? And finally, is innovation. Is their approach and what they are doing helping in a fresh, novel way in Cincinnati? You need to know these criteria too, because again, you'll get the opportunity to share and vote. And let me talk to you about that. We have 2 awards that you will be able to vote for online. First is the Audience Choice Award, which is a $2,500 award brought to you by Fuel Cincinnati. And brought to you by Social Venture Partners is a $1,000 VIP award. We will tell you later how you can vote, which you will be able to do online from tonight until midnight on Thursday, October 1st. In addition to the monetary awards, we've got a ton of incredible in-kind awards. First and foremost, we've got our Social Enterprise Award brought to you by Flywheel Social Enterprise Hub. This is equivalent to a $7,000 value. And we've had a long-standing partnership with Bill Tucker and his Flywheel team. And we're excited to announce, due to COVID, we went ahead and selected the winner. And I'm proud to tell you, Brewhouse Bakery was that winner. We also have the Volunteer Engagement Award brought to you by Cincinnati Cares. First, it's $1,000 to one of our finalists this evening. And secondarily, all of the finalists have the ability to garner $380 or the equivalent through a Service Enterprise Diagnostic Test. Then we have the Board Engagement Award sponsored by JPS Nonprofit Strategies, which has a $5,000 value and will be awarded to one of tonight's finalists. And there's the Custom Training Award, which is another $5,000 award sponsored by Next Step. This award is a custom employee development course for one of our finalists. And then we have in-kind awards that are available to all of the finalists. A $1,000 organizational assessment provided to you by One Source Center for Nonprofit Excellence, available to all the pitchers. And then pro bono legal check services, which is the equivalent of $1,200, that's available to any Ohio-based nonprofit that's presenting this evening. I'm happy to say that everybody wins tonight. So we have merit awards available to all 12 finalists this evening. And we'll announce the amount on Friday when we announce all of the winners. But those awards are available, made possible by all of the organizations and individuals on the slide that have helped to sponsor that. In addition, we've got event sponsorship dollars that have gone to the program. Now, since the event is not live and it's virtual, we're able to pass more of that money on directly to our nonprofits. So again, as we talked about, well over $80,000 in cash and in-kind prizes that's available to all of our participants. So we're really excited about what we're bringing today. So as you can see, there's a lot to win, there's a lot to do, but what we always hear from all of the finalists after they're done, besides, whew, glad that's over, is secondarily, that was an incredible experience. I learned a ton from my coaches. I learned a ton from the tools and the resources that Fast Pitch and SVP provided. I learned a ton and built new relationships with the other finalists that are participating. And I built skills that will help sustain my organization for the long haul. To me, those are the most important things because those are the gifts that keep on giving. So we're excited now to get to the important part, the pitches. So a few simple rules as a reminder. 3 minutes, no props, no retakes, no kidding. Everybody knows the rules and they're ready to roll. So without further ado, on with the show. Our first presenter is Boys Hope, Girls Hope of Cincinnati, pitched by Greg Scruggs.
What if I told you about an 11-year-old kid who was born one of 4 children whose father died before the oldest was 8 years old? Would you think that was a real story in today's world? What if I told you that the mother of those 4 children, she only made less than $30,000 a year, and the average median income for that neighborhood was $9,664? Would you think that I was telling you the truth? You probably think I was jerking your chain. Would you believe if I told you that there was an immigrant who came here trying to promise his son a better life, but that son didn't have bootstraps to pull himself up from? Would you think that I was telling you the truth? Well, here's even a more amazing question for you. Would you believe me if I told you that there was a program called Boys Hope, Girls Hope that provided services for free to help these kids get to and through college? Would you think that that was the truth? What if I told you that this program provided residential counseling, right? Residential in-home living for these young men and women who we serve in these communities? Would you think that that will cost you something? I got even a better question for you. Would you believe that if you gave $1, $2, $3, $4 that you would make an impact in these lives? Do you think that the gift from the social venture partners would do something to be able to help them provide health care, food care, counseling services, social services, camps, college trips, campus trips? Would you think if I told you just a small gift would help them? Would you think I was telling the truth? What if I told you that that young son of that immigrant, that didn't have the bootstraps to pick himself up from? What if I told you that because of Boys Hope, Girls Hope, this young man went on to receive a full ride to the Honors College of Arizona State University? You probably think that I made that story up. What if I told you that the neighborhood that the young man, the 11-year-old boy came from, what if I told you that 47% of the African-American students in that neighborhood didn't graduate high school? You probably think that that was a crazy statistic. What if I told you that just by a gift from social venture partners that you could help that 11-year-old kid not only go to the best schools in this area, but be able to go on to college? Would you think I was telling the truth? What if I told you that your gift helped that kid graduate college early? Would you believe that? Would you believe it if I told you that that kid went on to grad school? Would you believe that story? What if I told you that that kid will go on to be a 2-time Super Bowl champion? Would you think that your gift would be able to do something for that kid? What if I told you that one of those kids will go on to become a doctor and that the other one of those kids is me? Would you give to make a difference? Thanks.
Brewhouse Bakery, pitched by Eric Ball.
Hi, I'm Eric with Brewhouse Bakery. At Brewhouse, we provide training and jobs in schools and in our bakery for young adults with intellectual disabilities, like Alex. Alex has a disability, autism, and it's his 21st birthday, which means it's his last day of school. He's aged out of school support and he is on his own. Alex's mom is scared. They no longer have the support, predictable schedules, teachers, friends, nothing. What happens next? The current unemployment rate in the U.S., even with COVID, is 8.4%. In contrast, only 28% of individuals with a cognitive disability have a job. That's a 72% unemployment rate. 72%. No job, no purpose. So, we created a unique social enterprise to fix this problem. At Brewhouse Bakery, we make dog treats from spent grain from local craft breweries. But what we really do is invest in human dignity and potential. We provide jobs and opportunities for over 300 people with disabilities. That's where our heart really is. We have a school outreach program and a social enterprise that teach and build real-life skills. So, Alex learns how to follow a recipe. Alex learns how to mix and how to bake. Alex learns how to package and count money. Alex learns by doing. and he feels great that he's got a job. And he does all of this side by side with people without disabilities, and he's contributing to our community and our economy. 6 years ago, we started with one school and one brewery. Today, we partner with 27 schools, including Cincinnati Public and 30 local breweries. We make dog treats we sell at Grader's, and we opened our own store in Madeira. But right now, we do everything by hand. We need your help. With the $15,000 prize, we could buy a dog biscuit machine to scale up production so we don't have to turn away orders, because more orders equals jobs for 60 more people with disabilities. At Brewhouse Bakery, we make dog treats from craft beer grain. But it's not about the dog treats. It's about the human dignity, potential, jobs, and self-worth for people with disabilities. Individuals with disabilities deserve to have meaning and purpose to their life. There's two things COVID hasn't changed. People love dogs, and people love beer. That's taught us that we had a great idea then, it's a great idea now, and it'll be an idea that endures. Thank you.
Cincinnati Youth Collaborative, pitched by Adam Turer.
I matter. The first time our kids say it, it's a mumble, barely a whisper. I matter. But week after week and year after year for the past 16 years, our kids show up at Saturday Hoops, and they repeat those words until they're shouting from the top of their lungs for the whole world to hear. I matter! I never get tired of hearing Ethan shout about how much he matters. He's overcome so much adversity, and I'm so proud of the young man he's become. Ethan's father left when he was young. Through the Cincinnati Youth Collaborative, I became his mentor and his father figure. We instantly bonded over our love of basketball. Each week I take him to Saturday Hoops and Over the Rhine, one of CYC's group mentoring programs and my absolute most favorite place to be. It was there that I met hundreds of Ethans and dozens of role models eager to pour love, confidence, and positivity into these children. Basketball is the hook that gets kids like Ethan in the door, but now we offer art, yoga, reading, gymnastics, soccer, even robotics. Something for boys and girls of all ages and interests. In the summer, we teach kids to swim at Ziegler Park. Each week we serve 2 meals they may not otherwise get on the weekends. During this pandemic, we are pounding the pavement, delivering hundreds of backpacks filled with books, shirts, activities, hygiene products, and notes of encouragement. When Ethan applied for his first job as a camp counselor, he listed me as a reference. When he graduated high school, I proudly watched him walk across that stage. Now he's a junior at UC who gives back by volunteering at Saturday Hoops. Over 16 years, we've grown Saturday Hoops from a program serving a dozen kids for a few months to year-round programming that reached 700 children in 2019. This year, we expanded to a second location in Winton Hills. In just 5 weeks, our volunteers showed up, and so did over 80 new kids. Every Saturday, no matter what obstacles they had to overcome that week, Ethan and hundreds of kids just like him show up at Saturday Hoops, and they proudly recite this pledge. I'm a cheerful giver. I'm a hard worker. I'm an overcomer. I understand that faith and education are the keys to my success and happiness. I will not let guns and drugs crush my dreams. I matter. I matter. I control my destiny, and I am going to make this world a better place. With this award from SVP, we will expand into 2 more neighborhoods and empower 200 to 300 more children just like Ethan, because they matter.
Independent Film Festival, pitched by Allison West.
Full disclosure, it took me about 6 weeks of crying before I got it. People can't go to the movies anymore, so we should take the movies to them. I took a 10x6 cargo trailer. I learned how to project from inside the rig, and I have been driving it all over Cincinnati, showing independent films to safe and socially distanced communities. Reels on Wheels. We've been to Hartwell, let's see, Northside, Camp Washington, Finley Park, among others, because Sindependent is and has always been more than just a film festival. We are the special combination of art and community. Our over 5,000 attendance the last 2 years, in addition to our status as a top 100 best reviewed film festival, is a true testimony to the artists and community that we serve. A survey in May brought back devastating responses. Our filmmakers, 90% of them, no longer have the resources to produce their films. The entertainment industry has reached a 47% unemployment rate, and artists are turning to other industries to support their families. Independent filmmaking is at risk of becoming obsolete in Cincinnati at a time when local stories and local storytellers need our attention the most. $15,000 from SVP will help us invest in this filmmaking community. We're building filmmaker restart kits, which will position Sindependent as a filmmaking career center, in addition to stabilizing our networks into actionable services that provide marketing development, professional on-set experience, and maybe, perhaps most importantly, in a time like this, coaching and mentorship to tackle career uncertainty and funding questions just head on. Revenue from these kits will be reinvested into our biggest success, the festival, which will develop into a safe showcase of success stories year to year. These kits are designed to springboard filmmakers' careers forward. Artists no longer have the time to wait for the perfect job to arrive. Sindependent is positioned to offer affordable avenues of development to local artists at a time when local art is under siege. This is what communities do. When our way of life changes like that, we find another way. We find a way to adapt. We find a way to invest. We find a way to create. Creation is the story that Sindependent will tell. Thank you.
Girls Health Period, pitched by Brittany Gray.
Brace yourselves. I talk about periods, but more alarming, I talk about the thousands of students that miss school because they don't have access to proper menstrual products, meaning pads and tampons, at home or school. Now, the coronavirus has changed a lot, but not these facts. The national average for students to miss school during their menstrual cycle is 1 out of 5. But here locally in Cincinnati, it's 2 out of 5. It's 40% of students missing 2 to 4 days a month, and that's sometimes every month. Now, I'm a hairstylist, and the main topic that's in my chair is women's health. So I knew how I can give back to my community. And so I had extra menstrual products in my office, and so I took it to a good friend of mine who is a teacher at College Hill Academy, and making sure to get it to her students that may need them. The products disappeared immediately. And with the products disappearing immediately, I started coming back and coming again with more products. But every time I came back, I learned about something new. Something new is like a 5th grader starting their menstrual cycle in class and realizing that the products at the school, there was none. So she had to stuff her underwear with paper towels and be sent back to the class. In the most vulnerable time of the year, how embarrassing. Would you want your child to be told that? So after the classes have been requesting for these services, I knew then I had to decide to start Girls Health Period. We are the first and only organization to provide products of menstrual products, underwear to elementary, high school, and college-age students for free. We have donated over the last 2 years 35,000 products and underwear to 37 schools, 2 group homes, and several public locations that we deem as menstrual safe. Now, we've done a great job because the teachers have told us that the girls are staying in their classroom. But knowing that the children are comfortable and clean in their menstrual cycle, that means everything is priceless to us. But we have to do more, especially during these times between virtual and in-school hybrid classes. We want to make sure our services we still provide to our students. So with this award money, we want to ask for 3 things. We want to be able to provide menstrual education and awareness to the students, to the families, and to the leaderships of this local school district. 2, to provide and purchase a trailer so we can have mobile distribution through our neighborhoods, especially the 52 of them in Cincinnati. And most importantly, providing menstrual products and underwear throughout our city to those who need it. Because we at Girls Health Period know a period doesn't stop, pandemic or not.
Lincoln Heights Outreach, pitched by Tracy Artis.
Doretha Hayes, Shayna Hayes, Aubrey Rose, Tony Wright, Tony Williams, Andrew Hill. My claps represent gunfire. These are the names of residents of the village of Lincoln Heights that have been murdered. Our program, the Lincoln Heights Outreach Incorporated, we serve the village of Lincoln Heights daily, and we want so badly to turn the gunfire and the violence away from the residents of the community. So how do we do that? Daily, our programs are in Lincoln Heights Elementary School. We have after-school mentoring and tutoring programs. In the summer, we have a summer program called Camp Hope. For the residents of the village of Lincoln Heights, for the seniors, we have an adult daycare program. Also for the residents, we have healthy living and eating programs. We've been able to service about 250 students over the last couple of years, and daily we provide food to the residents. It can be delivered to them or the food can be picked up. With the funding and partnership that I hope LHOI receives, we'll be able to double the number of students that we can work with. Our staff is small. With funding and partnership, our staff can increase. We are the gap fillers. If we don't do it, no one will. There's no one else in the village of Lincoln Heights that's servicing the residents of the village of Lincoln Heights, 3,296 residents. I grew up in the village of Woodlawn, adjacent to the village of Lincoln Heights. I didn't hear gunfire as the backdrop or a soundtrack to my life, but I could hear it even where I live. But my friends and peers that went to high school with me, it was the soundtrack of their life. They didn't know when they heard the gunshots if it was someone being shot or if it was the gun range in Evendale that was in their backyards. With funding and partnership, we'll be able to continue to fill in the gaps. Marva Lawson, Lynn Mackey, Kendall Glover. These are the names of residents from the village of Lincoln Heights that have graduated from Princeton High School and came through the village of Lincoln Heights and LHOI programming. Please, please help me turn the claps into claps of joy at graduation time as opposed to gunfire and violence. Thank you.
Med Mentor, pitched by Cole Jackson.
Throughout history, in times of uncertainty, the world looks for heroes. But sometimes what we really need is to find the hero within. Hi, my name is Cole Jackson, founder of Med Mentor. And as a patient who has discovered the hero within to overcome the dreadful effects of disease, it is now my mission to help other patients do the same. See, at 13, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, an inflammatory bowel disease with no cure. I was forced out of the comfort and convenience that every child deserves and wound up suffering in silence for 7 years. Then, I met a man who became my mentor, and he helped me realize it was possible to live a full, meaningful life undefined by disease. This experience inspired me to become a mentor through Big Brothers Big Sisters. And over the 10 years that I've been volunteering as a Big, I've witnessed the value and impact mentorship can bring to youth in need. So I asked myself, what if I had a mentor when I was newly diagnosed? And that's the moment the light bulb came on, and that's why I'm here today. At MedMentor, we are the only nonprofit mentoring organization in the country on a mission to create life-changing relationships between children and adults facing the same chronic illness. Each child is empowered through individualized guidance and support from a trained, professionally supported adult patient. Matches communicate and engage in both fun and educational activities on a regular basis. Over the past 18 months, we have matched dozens of children who are seeing significant improvement in disease management skills and quality of life. I'll never forget when one of our mentors told me that Ryan, an 11-year-old type 1 diabetic, was starting to count his own carbs. Prior to that, his mom did everything for him. This improvement gave her hope that her son will be okay taking care of himself one day. We serve kids with a variety of conditions, including autism, asthma, diabetes, lupus, and congenital heart disease. Our goal is to provide mentors for children with every chronic illness. With the money we win from Fast Pitch 2020, we will purchase a secure, HIPAA-compliant platform that will help us work with our partner hospital, Cincinnati Children's, to more easily identify and recruit the neediest children and the adult patients that can help make a difference. Together, you and I can rewrite the story for thousands of children in Cincinnati who are suffering in silence just like I was. Join MedMentor in helping every deserving child discover the hero within. Thank you.
Partnership for Innovation in Education, pitched by Mary Welsh Schluter.
Imagine, at 16, flying drones with the FBI. Better yet, graduating 2 years later into a job that pays $50,000 as a drone engineer, a drone pilot, or a drone data analyst. Think I'm dreaming? Nope. Since 2009, PI has developed cutting-edge, award-winning programs at the Cincinnati Public Schools and the Ohio Department of Education, as we all three accelerate kids' opportunities into cutting-edge programs immediately out of high school in IT, cybersecurity, data analytics, and drone technology. This $15,000 opportunity for us will go to Taft IT High School, a program that we have worked with for the past 5 years. Why did we choose Taft? We chose Taft 5 years ago because of 2 reasons. One, it's filled with athletes, and athletes make great drone pilots. 2, it needed a significant boost in their graduation rate. For instance, only 60% of all those kids who attend Taft will actually ever graduate. And of those that do, only 8% will ever have a chance to go to college. So who are some of these kids, and why do we have kids waiting in line for our drone engineering program? Let me give you an example of a guy named KJ. KJ was a basketball star at Taft. He went into our program in 10th grade. He was within 4 months, he had gotten his drone pilot's license from the FAA. Within 1 year, he was working at Belcan, Cybersecurity Global. So when KJ first came into our program at Taft, he thought he'd just be shooting hoops. But instead, he was flying drones for the drone program, developing programs with the Tech Olympics and programming, data analytics, and working with the Cincinnati Police Department. All skill sets that are used by 2030 in the IT career pathway opportunity. Now we're into the money. This $15,000 opportunity will help fund 100 more seats in our program. That means 100 seats times a $50,000 starting salary equals $5 million return on your investment. That's actually a $33,000 return on investment. Most people call that a slam dunk. I'm hoping that you would too. Many people within Cincinnati are always asking us, how can I find more aspirational kids who are interested in IT, who are hungry, who are urban? And I say, come look at our program. Come partner with us. We have 4 years of data, assessments, success, kids who want to be a part of our program. We're asking all of you to join us. Come fly with us now. Thank you.
Samaritan Car Care Clinic, pitched by Bruce Kintner.
Did one of you have a flat tire today? I sincerely hope not. But if you did, would a flat tire cause you to lose your job? Would you have to choose between rent and groceries to be able to buy a tire? For some people, a flat tire is a major inconvenience, but for others, it's a major economic disaster, and that's where the clinic tries to help. The Samaritan Car Care Clinic provides complimentary routine vehicle maintenance for low-income individuals. The all-volunteer teams do 70 to 75 oil changes a year, but more importantly, when we have grant funding, we're able to sponsor critically needed repairs, like new brakes and tires. Referrals come from partner nonprofits. Examples include Lincoln Grant Scholar House and Life Learning Center in Covington, Lydia's House in Norwood. Now let's take a look at Amy, who is very typical of the people referred to the clinic. Amy's a single mom with 2 young kids, full-time employment, just pretty low wages. Good benefit she has, free childcare provided by an aunt. Now Amy has already missed work twice in the last month because the aunt has been sick. And Amy can't afford emergency backup childcare. Amy's boss is upset and has warned her, can't miss any more work. So Amy is on the way to the aunt to drop the kids and bam, she has a tire blowout. Amy doesn't have to worry about whether or not she has a spare tire. Sadly, she knows exactly where it is. It's already on her car. Amy had a tire blowout 3 months ago, so she went shopping for a used tire. Many of you don't know, people buy used tires. It's not safe, but they do it. That's $40. New tire, by the way, is $125. Well, after rent, insurance, gas, groceries, utilities, diapers, there's nothing left over each month. So Amy mounted the 15-year-old clearly marked for temporary use only spare that she had, and it lasted 3 months. Which bill is Amy not going to pay so she could buy a used tire? A friend of the clinic told me that access to affordable and reliable transportation is the single greatest barrier that the working poor face on their path toward economic self-sufficiency. Now that is a mouthful, but it's true. Let me condense it. A car takes you far. $15,000 from Social Venture Partners would let the clinic sponsor needed repairs for 20 to 25 individuals. They may be low income, but collectively over a full year, they'd earn close to $500,000 if they can keep getting to their jobs. Now that is an impressive return on investment. So you're Amy. How would you feel if the clinic was able to buy you a new set of tires so that you could keep your job? Thank you.
Social Circus, pitched by Paul Miller.
Hello, I'm Paul Miller, and we started this Social Circus Fund to help troublemakers like me. Only the best thugs can run away and join the circus, okay? It was my senior year in college, and I dropped out to join the Ringling Brothers. In the past 10 years, we've taken over 24 young people from right here in Cincinnati on their first international tours to Germany and to Mexico. When you're the first one in your family to get a passport, and the first one in your block to fly, it's one step in solving generational poverty, all right? We sussed this out by working with people in jail. We got 30 weeks of paid training at the Hamilton County Juvenile Detention Center. It turns out if you're good at stealing cars, you're perfect for the circus. You are focused and you are fearless. Now, when these kids were training and they hit probation, we actually hired them. We taught them to take the bus from Bond Hill to Ludlow, where they showed up on time with their equipment, and they earned an honest paycheck. They were the first in their family to get a bank account, and this is what we're trying to do, trying to create jobs for circus folk. We partnered closely with the German Peace Corps over the past 10 years, where they provided very talented young people to come to Ludlow and to inspire people in our region. This is where we need your help, Social Venture Partners. We want you all to join the circus. We're looking for $15,000 to create the Social Venture Partners Virtual Circus Lab, an online learning platform to teach people circus, from CPS to area schools to kids right here in the 275 loop. Our goal is to try and create more jobs and opportunities. Kids from Ludlow spent a whole year at a circus school in Germany, and right now they're working at the Bierkus Brewing Company. Budweiser has Clydesdales, and Bierkus has Circus Freaks. So these jobs are out there. So maybe, just maybe, you'd like to join the circus. It's been a crazy adventure, but the city of Ludlow has been a great partner. There's a public-private partnership here. They sold us a church for $1. This is where we're going to build this training center. Duke Energy's urban revitalization program helped secure the site. We got funds from the state of Kentucky. When we bought the building, it had 2 holes in the roof, was full of mold and asbestos. But this is where we're going to locate the first training center in the USA to teach people how to retool their circus skills. We do a lot of work with people on the autism spectrum, and giving these kids a chance to thrive and shine in the circus is one job opportunity. With your help, we want to become the Khan Academy of online circus learning. In fact, just today, a young man from Ludlow who just got back from 29 Palms, he's a Marine, he was juggling with us in our parking lot. And 2 weeks ago, a kid named Tom, we'll just say, he just spent 6 years at the prison, the Lebanon Correctional Center. He did a lot of juggling there. He's looking for a job. And SVP Cincinnati, just maybe you want to run away and join the circus. Thank you for this opportunity.
Visually impaired preschool services, pitched by Kelly Easton.
3 minutes isn't a lot of time to tell you about an agency that you've probably been lucky enough to have never heard of. I say lucky because that means that you don't have a child in your life who is blind or visually impaired and needs the services that we provide to children all across Kentucky, children just like William. William's parents didn't know that VIPS existed either until the moment that they needed to, the moment that their vision of the future was turned upside down by a diagnosis that introduced them to the very first blind person that they ever met, their third son, William. William has blonde hair, cheeks for days, a love of snacks, and fondness for saying the word no. William is also legally blind due to a genetic condition that will eventually cause him to lose his sight completely. William's parents didn't know that VIPS existed, and they took their vision for granted. When you have vision, you don't realize that even as veteran parents, 85% of brain development happens before the age of 3. And 90% of what a child learns, they learn visually. So the things that came so easily to their 2 older sons, things that they learned just by imitation and observation, those things were going to have to be intentionally taught to William. One thing that they did know was that they were scared. They were scared of the unknown, they were scared of the future, and they were scared of how they would teach William even the most basic concepts if he couldn't see. Enter VIPS. When William was just 6 months old, he had a visually impaired interventionist drive to his home at no cost for him. She taught him how to use the vision that he has and to develop skills to make up for the vision that he lacks. She coached his parents. She accompanied them on visits to Cincinnati Children's, and when it was time to transition to public preschool, she helped them with that. She became so much more than a teacher. She was a friend, and she took away their fear of the future and replaced it with hope. Visually Impaired Preschool Services is the only agency in Kentucky that provides regular and ongoing early intervention services to children birth through age 5 who are blind or visually impaired. We empower families like Williams every day by giving them the tools and resources that they need to be their child's best teacher and strongest advocate. With Northern Kentucky counties providing the highest rate of referrals, we cannot afford to not be there for these children. Even in a pandemic, when so much of the world is on pause, infants, toddlers, and preschoolers are still learning and growing and thriving due to the virtual visits that VIPS provides. It's so easy to take your sight for granted until you love a child who is facing life without it. Funding from Fast Pitch would allow us to serve 150 children just like William. Thank you.
Your Store of the Queen City, pitched by Reba Hennessy.
Imagine feeling a full house and making sure that you feed them without having a vehicle to get you to the grocery store. Instead, you have to slog up a hill, bringing home only what you can bring in your 2 hands, walking miles, or take a bus during a world pandemic, hoping you're not seeing your family near someone who's sick. That's what it's like to live in the food desert of Lower Price Hill, where 70% of families don't have access to reliable vehicles. And that's why neighbors in Lower Price Hill created Your Store of the Queen City to open our very own grocery right next door. Let me tell you about one of our neighborhood leaders. Miss Marisha is one of the smartest, toughest people I've ever met. And she makes a mean sweet potato pie. She loves taking care of her grandkids, but she's noticed something concerning. Kids in the neighborhood are not meeting their developmental milestones, and adults have started suffering long-term consequences as a result of not having access to healthy, fresh foods. She wasn't okay with that, and the city of Cincinnati wasn't okay with that either. This year, the health department determined that Lower Price Hill has the lowest life expectancy out of every neighborhood in the entire city. And there were no stores that wanted to come into Lower Price Hill. So together, Ms. Marisha brought to neighbors, nonprofits, and we purchased a building to open our very own grocery right in Lower Price Hill. We knew we had to take care of our own. Then COVID-19 struck. When that happened, your store, the Queen City, was able to purchase life-saving cleaning supplies and distribute them to more than 100 families in the neighborhood, our most vulnerable families, to keep them safe from the virus. COVID wasn't done there, though. What it did next was it started to cause furloughs. Our neighbors lost their jobs, and it disrupted our grocery renovation timeline. As a result, we said, we can't just stand for that. We started a farmers and makers market. We incubated local entrepreneurs like Miss Marisha, and now weekly neighbors can come. They can buy fresh fruits, vegetables, baked goods, and more, chicken, eggs, right at their market in the neighborhood. When our grocery doors open, we'll be selling those same baked goods with our neighbors. Our shelves will become a platform for creating neighborhood wealth and for uplifting representation of our local businesses. But we can't do it without you. Your vote to fund your store of the Queen City will help neighbors uplift neighbors. Not only that, but it will be bringing fresh foods back to the plates of 500 households just like Miss Marisha's in Lower Price Hill, just in time for the holidays and without anyone having to slog up an icy hill this winter. Thank you.
Wow, that was amazing. Those presentations were incredible. I hope you were as impressed as I was. Now it's time for you to participate. So let's talk to you about, again, the Audience Participation Award, which is that $2,500 award that you get to vote on, and the $1,000 VIP award, which any individual that had a VIP ticket with code that we sent to you will be able to vote as well. Now, something different that we've done, given the virtual nature of this, is we set up GoFundMe pages for each of the participants, and that's in fact where the voting will happen. So we'll ask you to go through the link that we provided you in the mail earlier today, to go to the GoFundMe page, and it's very, very easy to vote. When you go in, you'll look at the Audience of Choice Award, and you'll see that on the right-hand side of the page. That way you can go in, again with the code that we provided you, and put a vote towards the nonprofit that you felt best represented and characterized all the criteria that we talked about earlier. 2, if you're a VIP ticket holder, 1, thank you for that, and 2, we wanted to give you an extra special opportunity to vote as well. So we also have that $1,000 VIP award, and right below the vote button is a VIP vote button, and it gives you the opportunity to be able to go in and click on your vote, again using the separate code that we had sent you earlier today. We'll be able to see these presentations and vote from right now until midnight on Thursday, October 1st. And then on Friday, October 2nd at noon, we'll have all the votes tabulated along with the juried awards, and we'll be able to communicate to you who won. In addition to the voting, what we offered new this year for the benefit of the nonprofits, and I think it's great, is again, we set all the voting criteria through a GoFundMe page. Right above all the voting criteria is a little button that says donate. If you were impressed with these nonprofits, vote for them for sure. But if you were really impressed with them, donate to them. We know all the challenges that all of corporate America as well as nonprofits are having this year with COVID. And so any donation would be really grateful and helpful, and that money passes directly through to those nonprofits. So I think that's a wonderful feature and innovation that we provided this year to help, again, catalyze and support these wonderful, wonderful nonprofits. So it's your turn to vote. And we look forward to you providing that information to us so we can reward all these wonderful participants. Now, again, a reminder, we've got the 3 juried awards that we'll announce again Friday. First place, $15,000 from Fifth Third Bank. Second and third place from Interact Health, $10,000, $5,000 respectively. We've got all the pitchers winning, everybody getting a merit award, everybody getting that service enterprise diagnostic check, everybody getting a legal check, and that organizational assessment. In addition, we'll, as I said earlier, have that award celebration for you that we'll announce on a Zoom call on Friday, October 2nd. All VIP ticket holders will be invited to that Zoom call in an email that we'll send out with a link to you on October 1st. After the announcement, the Zoom call will be shared broadly on social media. Again, we are so excited about providing this virtual event to each and every one of you, and we would love your feedback. In addition, we want to thank our wonderful sponsors, because without them, this event would not happen. Finally, I also want to thank my SVP partners who helped collaborate and put this together, our judges who spent the evening working with us, so thank you, our coaches who worked with all 12, let alone 28 semifinalists on their presentations, and then finally, my Fast Pitch 2020 team. We're excited to bring you this virtual event, and we hope you had a great time. Thank you, and we'll see you next year.